Hello, I'm Allie Schaffner. I'm a survivor of domestic violence and child abuse. My story and my abuse started as a child. When I was 15 months old, my father stole me from my mother, and I was used for child pornography and lots of awful things. I don't even know how young I was when it started. When I was 16, I got legally emancipated. 1976, I was like the fourth kid in the state of California to legally divorce my parents. And I just kept ending up in one relationship after another where they were all abusive until the last one was my daughter's father. And he almost murdered me. My neck was fractured. I now have a titanium plate with 6 screws, 6 bone seeds to grow bone, because they had to remove part of my neck vertebrae. I was stabbed in the femoral artery, woke up 3 days later, thought it was the next day. My skull was fractured in 2 different places. My nose was broken. They just fixed it just like 2 months ago. I can breathe through the right side of my nose for the first time since 1989. And if my story can just help one woman get away, when I left, I had a 3rd grade reading level, a 4th grade math level, and a little 3-year-old baby girl who I begged for her life for 45 minutes while he held a knife to her throat. And that's what gave me the strength to leave. He could beat on me and I'd go back. He could beat on me and I would go back. But that day that I begged for my baby's life, that was the day that God gave me the strength. I called my best friend who sent me money, and her father took the money away because he found it. It took me 2 weeks. He thought I was dead. My best friend really thought I was dead. A lot of my friends had actually mourned me because they had all heard rumors that I had been murdered. And then I called him back in 2 weeks when I got a guts. I said, don't send money, just send a ticket for me and the baby. Just send a ticket. I literally left with the clothes on my back and a box of baby clothes and a few toys. And the hardest thing is after he found out, I was gone for about 6 months, and I was doing really good. I was going to school. I had a 3rd grade reading level, 4th grade math level, and I was getting my education. And I was very proud of myself, and I had been doing it for 6 months when he found out where I was at in California. When I got off the phone with him, he had convinced me to going back to him. And then this little voice in my brain said, "You're crazy." So I got the phone book and I looked up mental health. I walked into the Kingsview Mental Health in Madera, California, and told one of the counselors, Richard, that I'm crazy. I need some help. And the look on his face, I don't think in his whole career he ever had anybody tell him that they were crazy before. And he goes, "Well, first of all, I've got some really good news. You're not crazy because nobody crazy would be sane enough to come and ask for help." And when I told him what was going on, he went and got the lady counselor. And I'm not going to lie, for the first 10 years of my counseling, I fought it all the way because they kept trying to show me how the severe child abuse led to me accepting the physical abuse. And I ended up, because I was so fighting with my counselors and I just couldn't make the connection, I ended up in another, not physically abusive relationship, but verbally abusive. I married a man that was an alcoholic, and he never laid a hand on me, but you know, sometimes words hurt just as much as a fist. And I didn't stay with him. I left. I told my daughter. She hated him. I said, "Do you want to go?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Anything you can fit in this garbage bag, you can take with you." She went in her bedroom, filled up her own bags, and came back and asked if she could have another garbage bag. My daughter has given me so much strength. She's helped keep me strong. There came a point when I just said, I have bad taste in men. Because I even dated outside the box, and I kept ending up with people that wanted to control me. So I went approximately 9 years, and I didn't even go on a date. Every time I thought I wanted to go on a date, I got a tattoo instead. So I've got a lot of tattoos. And my tattoos tell the story of my abuse. The fairies represent the stolen innocence, because me and my brothers and sisters were all abused. My stepsister died at the age of 46 because no one would believe. No one would believe. She was 6 years older than me. I was in the 2nd grade. She went to the Pacifica, California Police Department. They called her mother. Her mother was just as evil as my father. She helped steal me. She was very abusive too. She told the police that my sister was just trying to destroy her marriage. Barbara got brought home. Us smaller children watched Barbara get beaten. Barbara was made to stand in a corner for over 12 hours with her nose against the wall. When she soiled herself, she got beat again. Before Barbara died, she asked me why none of us little kids would speak up about the abuse. I had to look her in her face and tell her, we saw what happened to you. We were afraid. And she just held me and told me it was okay. She was my hero. She would take sexual abuse so that I would not have to take it. And I can't even count the times that my daughter's father would rape me because I didn't want to have sex with him because he had beaten me. And all that stuff goes hand in hand. So if I can help one woman, just one woman, get away from being destroyed, I'm here. I will do anything to help anybody that needs to live. And my daughter's in law enforcement now. And I'm very proud of her. She's in criminal justice. I'm not allowed to say what she does specifically, but I'm very proud of her. And when she was growing up, she would bring home stray kids. I've got a whole bunch of kids that aren't even mine that I took off the streets in Chowchilla, California. Helped them get through with their schooling. The only rule I had was no drugs in my house. And they did good. I helped more than one kid. And so if I could help any woman leave an abusive relationship, you are worth so much more than what you are told. There's so much beauty inside of us. We can do this together. We can beat this violence together. And ladies, if you're out there, I know it's the scariest thing you'll ever do. It was so hard for me to take that step. And I went back more than once. And I'm not ashamed that I went back because I was weak, and I now know that I was just weak and I was confused. And so if I can help you not be weak and not be confused and know there is help. There is help for us out there. There is help. That's the one thing I want to tell everybody. There is help. And boys get abused too, because my brothers were abused. So it's not just women. It's not just women. It's and it's something we have to stop.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
So much.